guys, my name is Fred Lincoln, and in this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to create this amazing design in Adobe Photoshop. You don't have to worry if this is your first time using Adobe Photoshop. Has the access for this design is in the description. You can be able to download it in your Google Drive, and I'm going to be going through step by step. So it doesn't matter if this is your first time using Photoshop or you have used Photoshop before, but actually don't know what to do and kind of confused in handling it. In this class, we're going to be going over it as well. So kind of leave a like and subscribe to our channel. And if you haven't watched our video on the principles of graphic design, go and check it out, because these are the principles that will guide you to create stunning designs in Adobe Photoshop. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So when you open your Photoshop, you're going to see something like this. All right. So to create a new file in Photoshop, we go to File, we click on New, and we will see this page. So let me talk to you about this page first. Here we have the width of the image you want to create, or the flyer you want to create, and the height. This here is a unit of measurement. Whatever units measurement you are comfortable with, you can choose that one. So we have inches, pixels, centimeters, millimeters, and points. So for this tutorial, I'll be using inches, so I'm just going to stick to inches. And our height for this, the width for this tutorial is 4, and our height is also 4. Here we have the orientation. Our orientation is how we want our work, either portrait or landscape. Let's say, for example, I have 6 here, and I say I want my work. This automatically become a landscape orientation because 6 will be long than 4. So if I say portrait, then 6 will come down and 4 go up. So the height will now be 6 and the width be 4. So here is our orientation. So I'm just going to carry it back to 4. This is our resolution, and I'm going to keep this to 300 as well, and click on create. Now, welcome, right? We have this, our nice white background that is automatically added in Photoshop for us, and we can now work outside this this black background or outside this white space. This white space is what we work in Photoshop. Unlike CorelDRAW that allows us outside the white space, for Photoshop we are only allowed to work right in this space. So let me talk to you about something cool, guys. On our left side is something called the layer panel. If you don't see your layer panel, what you need to do is just go to Windows and go to Layers. Or you can just press F7 and your layers panel will appear. So I made mine to disappear. I'm just going to carry it back to, all right, good. Now I have my layers panel. So what are layers? So layers, basically, in simple terms now, right? Layers are just elements we have on our design. So take, for example, if you have text on your design, that text will be treated as a layer. If you have a background, that background will be treated as a layer. If you have an image or a cycle or a shape or a star, whatever thing you have, Photoshop will treat it as a layer. Let's try that out. So there are a couple of ways we can insert image in Photoshop, but for this tutorial, I'm going to be using the place embedded. So I'm going to go to File and Place Embedded, and I'm going to get my background. So I'm just going to scroll down here and look for my background. Okay, so I actually have to go and download my background, so just give me a minute, I'll be back. Okay, so I have now downloaded my background. I'm just going to go to File, like I said, Place Embedded, and this is my background here. I'm going to click on it, and then I'll say Place. Now, we have this background right here. I'm going to just click on this check mark and check mark it right here. Now, you see now on our layer panel, we have a background, and we have this background here. So we have 2 elements on our design now. So we will have 2 layers. So the eyeball near these layers, if I click on this eyeball, I can off it and I can off it. So you can off and on a layer. All right, so you can off an element and put an element on. You can off it on a layer. So understand, like, right, you can off anything on this particular design. So now that we have our background, let us open our design so we can be looking at it while we design it as well, so that we go through it as well. So the next thing we have is some text and the logo and the text down here. So let's see how we can build our text in Photoshop. So in Photoshop, we go to this T element. It is called the horizontal tab 2. So we're going to click on it one time, and then we come on our layer here and we click. Up here, automatically you'll see a box here that shows that where you can change the color. So in this color of our text is white. We're just going to change it to maybe red and check mark it as well. So this lorem ipsum is a default text that Photoshop gives. So just double click in it, and you can write whatever you want to write. Maybe I can put my name Fred, okay? And I'm going to check mark it. Now, you can now move this text with this tool because this is a text tool. So anytime you use any tool, This tool up here, which is the first tool, which is the move tool, becomes your home tool. So you got to go back to this move tool and be able to move your element around. So you can move this text all around this particular screen. And this is another cool thing about layers, right? You can drag this layer on here, and then Fred will go under the background. The reason you cannot see Fred because Fred is under the background, meaning this layer is on top, and I can drag it back on top, and this layer has appear on top. So this is how we can add text. So first, somebody said, but Fred, how can we edit these text? How can we customize them? So to do that, we'll go to Windows, and maybe if you're not seeing it on your own Photoshop, just go to where you got character, click on character, and this box will appear. In here, where you got a color, you can change this color to whatever color you want, and you can also change the font type as well. So maybe you want a different font, you can be able to change it as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead, try a crazy font, and there you go, voila, you got this nice font here. It's beautiful, right? It's beautiful, guys. All right, it's very, very beautiful. So that is how you do that, guys. So another cool thing is this place here, right? So if you come here and double click in here and you put like 20 and click enter, the text will increase. And if you put like maybe 15, the text will also decrease as well. But this place we use it for sentences, so I'll show you that later. But this VA is the spaces between the letters. So if I say 10, you see the spaces between the letters will increase. If I say like 120, the spaces will also increase as well. So I'm just going to keep this to 0, and it's cool. Now this double T is to make everything capital letter, and when I put it back on is to make it small letter. So this is what we do. But the shortcut to make your text bigger, which is most used by graphic design, is to select the layer. So what you can do is if you click here, you'll be able to get these points that you can be able to drag this particular layer around. And yes, so you can off it, but you don't want to be putting this in on and off all the time. So just click on the layer you have. For example, say this is fair layer, and say Control plus T. You have these double points, and you can just drag it and close it, drag it and close it, and move it. Now remember, we are using the move tool to do all of these things, because anytime you use any of these tools, remember to go back to the move tool to be able to move your elements around, and you can put it on and you can bring it up. So this is how we use text. So we'll get back to using these texts. So that's how you do it. For maybe you want to get a text box, what you do, you come to your text tool and then you draw a text box like this, and you give it a size. Maybe I want to say this text box, I want the size to be 10, and yeah, 10, right? And I'm going to just this color. Maybe I want to make the color red. Okay, and then check mark it. Now, again, I have to go back to the move tool to be able to edit this stuff. And once I come to move tool, I'm just going to go to Windows, and I say character, or the character tool is right here. There's either here, for example, if it is on your Photoshop now. If it's not, you have to go to Windows and do it manually. And just go to character, and then I can be able to see all of these characters here as well. Then I can be able to maybe reduce it or increase it. So now, take for example, we have these 3 sentences that has bigger space between them. So this is where this part comes in. This A that has this line on it is for the spaces between the sentences. So I can just say maybe like 5. I want the spaces to be 5, and you see that all of these things will get contrasted together. If I make it like 8, and you see there's a nice decent space here. Okay, so this is how you do that, and you can increase the spaces between the letters too as well. We already talked about that. And here, so this is how you create a text box, and you can move the text box around. If you want to edit it, just double click in the box and you put the thing you want to put there. And you finish, you check mark it. If you want to change the font, again, right here, and you can be able to change the font of this particular writing as well. So guys, this is what you need to know for now about text. So we're going to get right here and put our text on our design. So we have this Ghana National Association of Adventist Students, GNASS. So I'm going to go right here and start designing our work. So let's get right into that, guys. So for this text, I'm going to be using a text box as we learn about. So I'm going to go to my T here, to my horizontal text, and I'm going to draw this text box around here. And the color, I'm going to just change the color to black. And I'm going to write in it now. So I'm just going to double click in it. Highlight everything, say GHA, Ghana National Association of ADVNTIT, STUDNTS, and GNAAS. Close it. parenthesis NATEBUBUCO. So this is a flyer I just found online. So shout out to the person who did it. We own no copyright to this flyer design. So now we can, once we're in here, we can adjust this text box to the way we want it. And I'm just gonna highlight everything here. And you see up here, the same way in Microsoft Word, this is how you can put it in the middle. So I'm gonna put it in the middle here. And we'll talk about giving everything capital letter. We'll use this and just say capital letter everything. Maybe increase the text bar a little bit. Increase the text bar down here too as well. So now we have this our text here again. We cannot move this text around with this text tool. We can just go back to our move tool for all time's sake, and we can be able to move these things around. It's kind of really cool, right? It's kind of really cool. Okay, so now that we have this Ghana Association of Advertisers, so I'm just going to cut, or maybe I can just you can remove there. No, I'm going to remove this one. I actually shouldn't have tapped this one there, so I'm just going to cut it from there. Sorry. All right, so yes, just tap that. This. So I'm going to change my font, right? So we said we'll click on our layer. We want to edit. We'll go to Windows. If you don't have, if you get this A, you just use the character tool. Just click right here, and you can be able to edit your character. So the first font I want to use here, let me go in my font section and be able to check for the font that I want. So the font that I want to use for this tutorial is called Rome. So I'm going to go to Rome to search for it. The font is also in the description. You can download it from there. And I'm going to use Rome regular. This is okay for me. I'm going to place it right here. I'm going to use Rome medium. Yeah, that is cool. And this is, we have this our text here. It's really cool. We say again, if you get Control T, you can be able to just minimize it as well. So I'm going to minimize it a little bit. And I'm going to put it here. All right, cool. Now it looks nice. So next thing we need is ruler. We need ruler on our work so that we can be able to get white spacing. As the rule says, we should always give white spacing. So if I click on Control and arrow, you see my ruler will appear. This is a ruler. Just come to anywhere on this ruler on the left. Stick it here on left click, drag it, and give a space right here. We'll go up again, stick out here on left click, give a ruler here, and then stick out here on left click, get our ruler here, and we'll get our ruler down here. So now we're just going to be working in this particular space for our design. So this ruler gives our work white spacing so that our elements can be able to breathe as the principle of graphic design suggests. So remember we had a little text under it, and I took it from there. So I'm going to get my text to bring it. I'm just going to paste that text here and go back to my move tool, drag this up here, Control T to select it, and then I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, right? So I'm just going to place it right here, and I'm going to change the color to a little bit of grayish, and that is cool, right? Good. So the next thing is our logo. So I'm going to go to File, Place Embedded, and I have my logo right here. And I'm just going to bring this logo here and adjust it. And I'm going to place it up here. All right, so it's cool. We have this logo up here. Yep, so we can be able to change this. Okay, so for now, let's just get that done. I think it's good there. This is good. Now the next thing we want to do is get our auto text, right? Get our auto text, and I'm gonna get this text here. I'm gonna place it here, and our next text says handling, right? So I'm going to HANDING. Remember we have this 2T here, right? So anytime you tell me the first you already understand that you're using capital letters. So if you get off this, you see that it's into small letters. So just in case maybe you want small letters and it's already into the capital letter, remember to put this back on. Say I'm using capital letter. So I'm just going to tell handy and I check mark it. Go back to my move tool, check this here, go to color. I'm going to change this color to blue. So there's a special blue we're using. I'm just going to get a hex code for that particular blue. And it's going to be, so you can put it, you can tell this code down here, right here. This is the hex code for the color we'll be using. This is 042C8B. And yes, I'm just gonna click OK, and boom, that's our color. We'll be using a gradient of this color, but not now. So I want to check for the font I'll be using for this one. Let me see which font we'll be using. Is Benzene BEN. Again, the font names are there. You can just be able to get it. Yeah, so we got Benzene, and I'm going to just Control T, and I'm going to paste it there as well. Maybe instead of bold, maybe we can use regular semi-bold. No, regular would be medium. So Control T, and okay, adjust this a little bit here as well. And to duplicate our layer, so I want the same text down. So I'm just gonna duplicate that particular text. Yeah, so I'm just gonna duplicate that particular text. So to do that, I will have to just go on the text I want to duplicate, and I say Control J, and just drag this down like this, right? Or better still, after you press Control J, you can just say Control T to just copy it, and then you can just stick your hand on it and drag it down. Yeah, so that's another way you can do that. Whatever way is okay and comfortable with you, you can use that as well. So here I'm just gonna tap over, right? Yeah, so like over and BENZ. I'm gonna use extra bold and Control T to make this very big. Alright, so good. So I have handing over, and this handing I can bring it down a little bit and make it a little bit bigger too as well. So I'm using Control T, so just in case. Right, so yeah, so this is cool. Yeah, this is cool. And so we got this text, and then over. So if you want to make these things so it's just be in the center. So if you click on this layer, like for example, the over, I want it to be in the center of this page. I come look at the three dot, and instead of to selection, I'm going to say canvas, and then I can be put in the center like this. So this is in the center now, and you can do the same thing with this one too. You can put in the center, and you can put this in the center. You can put a logo in the center too as well. So everything is in the middle now, and yep. So just adjust these things a little bit. Yeah, so let's look at our design here, and then look at our design here. So we see that our design is actually taking shape. So let's take this one up a little bit, and then yeah, so just a little bit better. Control D, I'm going to hold shift and drag this down a little bit. It's cool. So that is great, guys. Our design is taking shape little by little. We're getting there, and sooner or later, our design is going to come to life. So great. So the next step we have here in fundraising ceremony. So I'm gonna just duplicate this handing is me as well. Control J, and I'm gonna hold it here. And fundraisings. CEREMONY. So yeah, so ceremony. Control D again, and I'm gonna just adjust this a little bit, and then bring it over here. Adjust it over here as well, and I got it. So I want this N and this fundraising to be in the same line. Yes, I think that's what was on here. So I'm going to go for a ruler, and I'm going to bring it right to this O, and I'm going to drag this there as well. So you see I get that particular design. Yes, so and you know that this particular OV arrow for this layer here. So this OV, I'm just going to go there and give the spacing 0. Right? Or maybe negative 10. Or negative 30. Oh, sorry, minus 30. Okay, minus 30 is not bad. What is it? Minus 40. Oh, wow, what's happening? Minus 70. Oh, 70 is too much. Minus 60. So sometimes you gotta play around these things. Yep. There's another way to do it to make it much easier, but I don't want to get you confused for now. So we have this over. I'm going to drag it here and put in the center and see. So let's bring this there and adjust this as well. So I'm going to adjust this my stuff, fundraising, and we're getting our design on path little by little. Okay, so we're getting our design on path little by little. Okay, so great. So the next thing on our design here we want to get out is this side, this rectangle box here as well. So we're just going to draw this rectangle box quickly. So I'm just going to draw this rectangle box here. And to change the color of this box, we just go right up here to fill after drawing it back. So let me show you guys how to draw that box properly. So what you do, you go down right here to where you got this rectangle tool, you right click and take rectangle tool here, and then you just draw your box the same way you draw a text box. So after you draw it, you go to fill and you take the color you want. So for now I'm just going to take red. We'll change it later. And this stroke is a color that is around the box. And so we don't want color around the box, so we're just going to click X and then we'll click this check mark, and voila, our box has been created. So I'm just going to adjust the box a little bit, adjust it a little bit, look it down here a little bit, and we have this our box here. So let's come back here, and yeah, I think our design is pretty much getting into line, and we have another box that is on top of that box. So let's draw that quickly in our rectangle tool as well. So the same way we come to our rectangle tool here, right click, and then we take the box from here, drag it somewhere around. If I want to stop it to the same place, our color right there is stop, and then we change the color to maybe this color, and then online we say no. We go back to our move tool, and now how do we get that cursor shape around it? Where you got these two stuff here, just put maybe like this px, you can put like 10 px, enter, and then we'll turn cursor a little bit. So let's do maybe like 20 px, and then yes, we have this rectangle size there. It's nice, a nice little place over there. This rectangle too, that's good. So take a look at our design again. Yeah, so the only thing we need now is to create our both lines here and then add our remaining text on it as well. So we have a blue line. So for this one, I'm just going to use a same rectangle. I'm going to go to this rectangle box. I'm going to create it, but very small, you know, like just like this, very small. And I'm going to give it the color blue. And the outline, I'm going to say no outline. And yes, so I have that line there. So I'm going to duplicate this layer. So there's the line. So if I off this, you see that this is the line. So you can make sure your layer is a line. Just make sure that this is the one. After you off it on it, there, then you say Control J. And then you can see rectangle copy here on my left, Control T, and then you can just drag it down. So make sure your mouse is like this, drag it down. Stick your hand on Shift, and then you extend it. Make sure your hand is stuck on Shift, and you extend it, and you get it. So we'll have this line in the middle. Oh, so I'm not seeing it, so I'm just going to use Control T again. So you see how Control T is very important. Or you can use the arrow key that on your keyboard. Use the arrow key that's on your keyboard, you can be able to get it. Make sure you use the arrow key. Yeah, so Control T again, and just use your arrow key to set it up a little bit. Oh yeah, these things can, yeah. So I'm just gonna use my arrow key. It's very slow, but that's the best way to use it right now. So yeah, so this is set up, and now I have to add my real colors to this design, and there's a ribbon on it. So I'm just going to put this ribbon here up there first, and then we'll add our text. So I'm going to go to File, again, place embedded, the same process. Just remember these things because these are the things we'll be using over and over. And I'm going to place this particular ribbon here, and I'm going to check mark it. So you see, like, for sometimes you place a layer, and then the layer is not to a position you want. Like, for example, this layer, I place this ribbon, is not to the position I want it to be. So I'm going to just drag it up so that it's on top of everything. Now this ribbon has a background on it. So to remove it, I'm going to be using a tool called the selection tool, object selection. So this is object selection tool, and I'm going to just right click there. And when I right click, you see there are three types of selection tools. So this is selection tool, but there are three types of selection. You have the object selection tool, quick selection tool, and matches selection tool. They are all used for background removal and other stuff like that. But for this tutorial, we'll be using the magic wand tool. So you click on the magic wand tool and click outside to where you want to remove. So I want to remove this white area, so I'm just going to click the white area and click on it and click on backspace. Now you see this error because This is an image, and I cannot treat it as a layer or as a text. So firstly, I have to rasterize it. So anytime you see an image that is not rasterized, you always see a small place right here on it. So you right click on that particular layer and go to rasterize layer. Now you see that particular thing has been removed. Okay, now you can click on backspace, removed, and click on the other side, say backspace, and it's removed. Now we say any tool, if it is removed, usually you gotta go back to the move tool. So I gotta go back to the move tool here, and this place is still selected, so we have to say Control and D to deselect this place, to take this thing from here. So Control and D will remove it, and then now we can use our move tool to move this around. And I'm gonna say Control T, and I'm gonna just adjust it. Right here, turn it a little bit and bring it like this. Yeah, maybe make it bigger, and yeah, that's it, right? And I check mark it. Now if you look this from this design, that particular this thing is very blurred, and so we're gonna blur it, right? So we go to filter, go to blurred, and this time we say Gaussian blurred, right? Gaussian blurred, and we're gonna make it at least 4% blurred, and click on OK. And wow, so this is how design is taking shape. Actually, it's very nice. And let's look at this one, and let's look at this one. So almost the same. So we have to now add the colors. You see that this is a 2-color gradient, and this shape is a 2-color gradient. This one is also a 2-color gradient. So we're gonna do that quickly, and let's do that quickly with our colors. Okay, so let's add our gradients to our colors. So I'm going to firstly come to this layer, this handing. So I'm going to just click on handing, and then this is the handing layer. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to go to blending options. So we want to add a gradient. So a gradient is a combination of 2 colors on the design. So I'm going to go to gradient overlay. So where you got this gradient overlay, I'm going to just check mark it, and I'm going to click on the gradient itself. And then you see where you got gradient. I'm going to click there. And we got basic, the basic gradients. I'm just gonna click it one time, and you take the first one. So take the first one. Now you see a 2-color panel will appear here. So come to this first color here, left click, and then this color box open. You click on the first one, and then this is how you add gradient. So in this box, I'm just gonna type the color there because I want you guys to have the same color that I have. So the color I'll be using is 042 C8B, right in our box. Just tap it there and click OK. And then in the next box, I want you to right click there, go to color, and I want you to tap 055 1B3 and click on OK. Now we have this 2-color gradient there, very nice. And maybe you want to make this other color come first. You can just click on reverse and reverse the color, but we want it to be that way. And your angle should be 28, right? 28. So what happens if you make the angle like maybe 50? You see, like the color will go to another location, or maybe you want to make it like this, just like that. But so we want this one color one side, one color to the other side. So we're gonna say 28. That's okay, and we're gonna click OK. Now we're gonna go to over, right click on over, go to blending options, and say gradient overlay once more. And we have the same overlay there because so the overlay is the gradient overlay has already been saved, so you don't have to change it. But in case you only have to change it, go through the same process and change it. And we have this other box here. This is another gradient. So click on this and then come to the layer, right click on the layer, blending options, and we're going to go to gradient overlay as well. Click on gradient, and the first color box here, we want to change it to another color too as well. So this color, I'm going to be changing it to C72300, and click OK. And then this one, I'm going to be changing it to EB7F02, and click on OK. So we have this nice gradient there. So it's not bad. Reverse it and see. No, so it's not bad. Okay, maybe make it like 30, maybe your angle like 30, and then okay. So let's check this out, and let's check this out. So this is our design. It's taking shape. It's really nice. So we have to change this this big box too as well. Oh, we should have this. So right click on this, Go here, and we're going to say gradient overlay, and we have got to change the gradient, so we'll go to gradient, and this first color here, click here, and we'll go to color. Now we have to, instead of us going through the manual process of just tapping, instead we get the color here, we can just bring the our color picker right here, left click here one time, and then pick the color already. So that's another trick. So once you to the color area, if you want this color, just pick it up, and you can pick up any color. So this is the color one, pick it up, and then check mark it. Go to the second color, click on it, and pick this up, and check mark it as well. You know, we okay it, and then okay this as well. We have our design is looking lit. And guys, this is about it, and this is how you can be able to do that. I'm pretty sure you can be able to do the rest, but let's see what we can add other text here. So we say aim to improve coordinated setter. So I'm going to go to my text tool, and I'm going to just tap right here. I want to tap my text up there, and then when I finish, I will just drag it back. So I'm going to say AIM double to BLV COORD intonation in the setter. All right, so check mark. So I'm going to check mark this, go back to my move tool, Control T, make it smaller so I can be able to see it. And then I'm going to double click in here. Since I have two colors here, I'm going to highlight this one to improve the setter and change this one to white. You're not going to see it because it's white now. So, and then this to aim, I'm just going to highlight it too, and then take here and choose this yellow color here. We carry up small, make it shining. Check my bit. And go back to my, and take Control T, hold it, and drag it in this box. So you see that you cannot see it because this box layer is on top of this one. So since like this is my aim to improve, I'm just going to drag it and take it up here, and now you can be able to see it. And yeah, so we have that text over there, and I'm going to have another text for. So I'm just going to duplicate this. Control J, remember, drag it down here, and tap Saturday. Sorry. Double click it on Saturday, and then highlight it, make it white, and say okay. Go back to my move tool and bring this one down here. So on Saturday, yeah, just cool. Maybe I want to change the. I'm gonna go BE and yeah, I'm gonna do basic regular. Yeah, regular will be okay. And then the 9. So the 9 is a specific font that I used that I saw that would be very cool with that design. And I'm just gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna say, let's check what we have here. It's what I say. Okay, the 9 THDC. So it's on Saturday 9 TH. So it's a 9 THDC. Check my hit, and I'm going to now check for a font called ALBERT. I'm going to use the board. Control T. Oh, sorry. Click on it. Control T. And then have this here. Check this out. Alright, it's not too bold, so maybe we can use regular. Yeah, maybe give some spaces between it so that maybe space can be 15. Yeah, it's kind of cool though. Yeah, 9 December. Oh, we can make it bold, right? Yeah, I think the board is not bad. So again, we want to get this line in between here. Just going to get this. So the same way, rectangle, and just draw the line straight. Make it a little bit smaller. And change the color from up here to white. So you see, guys, it's just like the same process over and over. You just gotta remember and use your arrow key around on your keyboard to just adjust it a little bit. And what do we have again? We have 2023, 9 o'clock GMT. So far so good. I think this is our design, guys. So I just duplicated that and just a 2025 and drag it here, Control T, make it a little bit bigger. So guys, you can add the rest of the text there. So far so good. This is the design. We have it here and we have it also there as well. So thank you guys so much. Please kind of like and subscribe to the channel. We'll have another design talk coming up as well. So feel free to subscribe to the channel, like, share. Thank you so much for watching.